In this video part 2, I will show you a little bit about the history of the coin on a graph. We always say that men lie, but not numbers. Graphs are numbers, and we will be able to trace the growth of the Peepo and what the milestones are, and how we have been able to reach where we are today, and what the future holds for the coin. So, first let's go back to the beginning. It all started with euphoria, a big pump, then there's nothing more to add. At the beginning it was like, okay, it pumped, the dev planted his community, there was a bit of hope, we came out of the darkness a bit, and then bam, we go down, down, down until where? So in this accumulation zone, actually personally I trade the cycles. That's how I was able to spot the opportunity with the coin precisely when we reached this accumulation stage. So in red, the red boxes represent winter, the gray boxes represent accumulation, it's spring, and the green boxes represent summer. So it means the coin is growing again. It's switching, changing paradigm. So from the moment I see the cryptos, Bitcoin picking up its growth, and I see the coin there very small, but really in disbelief, we're really at the bottom and accumulating. What does accumulation mean? It means that there are people buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. In other words, selling stops and the buyers hold on to their coins, creating a plateau of holders. So individuals state, no, I will not sell my coins. You have the option to sell. There are no more coins to sell. We are holding on to them. And so automatically, since there are no more sellers and the holders protect the price, at some point we switch paradigms, we go in the opposite direction. And that's what happened. And me, when I arrived there as a trader, not in love with the coin or anything, as a trader, I saw an accumulation after a while on this site. It is still the same meme, one of the most popular memes on the internet. I am wondering how Bitcoin can be valued at this price level. And that's where I purchased again. I purchased again not only Peepo rings, but I also purchased the developer's surrender. The developer at that time erased his social networks, sold his coins for a low price, and I purchased them again. So I acquired 2% of the supply at that time, and I continued accumulating. I accumulated until the moment when bam, we switched. And we can also express gratitude to Bitgate, who did not, during this moment of disbelief, remove the coin from listing. Because if Bitgate had been delisted, we would have been at the bottom, we wouldn't have had the support of the exchange, it would have really been over. That's why we also need to realize that Bitgate has played a major role in protecting it. And I think Bitgate is not dumber than us. He has understood well that this little frog had potential for the bull run. You're aware that during bullish market trends, there are always viral internet jokes that become popular. And whether it's Grandpa, Coin, or anyone else, people share these memes while the market pumps and sends stickers to express their amusement and joy. You envision that if this coin here, which is also widely used, begins to be sent to the moon during the bullish market trend, and in addition to that, it is the source of a coin. You know, there are many people during the mania phase of the bull run. So when Bitcoin breaks its all-time high, during the mania phase, a lot of people will be exchanging frogs and saying, wait, let's buy some too. And that is the place where we have a role to play. Prior to this phase of mania, the state of euphoria, we must have made the community strong and resilient. We must know ourselves, we must improve our values, we must make the path of an average investor who will do his research easy and accessible. That means that when he searches on Twitter, on YouTube, people, he will very easily come across social networks and will be able to buy it very easily. Our exclusive duty is to ensure widespread awareness and streamline the purchasing experience to the maximum extent possible throughout the phase of heightened enthusiasm during the bull market. So we will continue with the story. It's not just me saying it. I also have Lucis. So as I explained to you, I am a member of the Academy. We have coded a very interesting indicator on momentum based on boxes and seasonalities on stages. Here you have Noctis indicator, moving averages. We'll activate them. First activate this one. What can we see? From there, the cloud remains green. The trend is protected. We are in S2. We are in a growth phase for the coin. It remains a very small coin, but a very small coin with only 1 to 2 million market cap at the time of the video. However, it is a small coin growing with a strong community, because look here, in addition to what happened, we had our first real holder, Plateau, who said, no, I'm not selling my coins. And then it pumped. You can imagine there were buyers, sellers, buyers, sellers, buyers, sellers, but there were also new holders. And there we have obtained a plateau where we stated, no, we do not engage in sales. So we maintained the involvement of the buyers and sellers of this impulsive new holders, new price protectors. And that is not all. We succeeded in pushing the price back. So buyers, sellers. And there you have it. Here we have achieved a pullback with once again new holders. But these new holders played a very important role one day, because here we also have the initial technical rebound with people expressing their desire to repurchase and regain their positions in the market. Here we have the second and here we have the third. What are we creating? We are creating nothing less than a left shoulder with a head and an inverted right shoulder. So we can clearly say that here we have really created a very solid pattern. And if I take the neckline of my head and shoulders with its potential trajectory, there it takes us to places where we are here. So we are more or less in these head and shoulders zones. This pattern indicates a potential reversal in the market, suggesting a shift from bullish to bearish sentiment. So we succeeded with all the work of the community, who, on top of that, we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have social networks, we didn't have Discord, we had nothing. But we still managed to communicate with each other and protect some levels each in our own corner. Currently, it is the exact opposite. We possess excellent social networks, and the entire community has been centralized on platforms such as Discord, Twitter, and Telegram. And now, not only have we protected the coin, but we can also talk among ourselves, bring in new people who will protect each level. And for me, it is obvious that from the moment we reverse the trend, thanks to the head and shoulders pattern, we have created here a new and indisputable green box within the green box. This new green box is clearly defined and cannot be disputed. We have reconstructed a completely new paradigm. From my perspective, being together here, we have collectively created the inception of a fresh and untold story. For me here, it's clear that it's a very protected plateau. And it's not just that. Here we had encountered a resistance. I am going to place the resistance here in red color. We encountered a resistance. We reached it once more. And this time, the resistance, we broke it. It now becomes this resistance on numerous occasions a support. So we have, in addition to that, a great support with a very broad base in shoulder, head, shoulder, which is not just technical analysis, it's also the whole action of a community that, besides having regained control, is very solid. So here for me, we're really at the start of something. So I can't manipulate the price. I can't manipulate the fact that Bitcoin will fall or skyrocket, or that euphoria will come to the market. So of course the price can go up here, hop, retrace, go up a little higher, do a little pullback, go up higher. Okay, but we are in something new. What we can, however, control together is the value that we can influence, shape, and have an impact on collectively. One thing to know is that the value is us. It's about being active, communicating among ourselves, creating people who will create Twitter accounts, who will post Peepo every day, look at Peepo again, look at Peepo, and who will engage on social networks. From myself, for example, or from other people who may start creating YouTube content around Peepo, or TikTok, or social networks that will help us make it known together. It's something that can be controlled. That's the value. And the goal will depend on the community that has already proven itself. However, if the community, specifically, given that we are in S2, we will persist in preserving value and experiencing growth along this green line, we will indicate it as green due to our focus on sustainable growth. This applies even as additional new members join and the value begins to skyrocket, not due to any mystical reasons, but because of our diligent efforts. That's why follow social networks, Join Instagram, join Telegram, join social networks, come work with us, because together we have a genuine possibility to increase the value and enhance our potential for growth. And what will the price do? The price will fluctuate around the value. That is what it will do. That's it, nothing more. And there you go, it will catch up. The price always catches up with the value, irrespective of whether it is like this, but it will always follow the value without fail. Of course, there will be people who will want Bitcoin. Of course, there will be people who will want to hold it. Of course, there will be people who will want to trade it. But that is the price. However, what we can control is its value. And what we can also control, if we make mistakes, if we start to panic, if we start to lack discipline, if we begin to capitulate when the market drops a little, to say that it is worthless, that it is over. And all we have the ability to manipulate, yes, is simply the fact that we will lower the value without any other means of control or influence. And there, the price, it's not magic. What will the price do? Well, it will slowly move towards the value. And I am convinced of one thing, that the way we are taking back control of the community, the way we support each other in very complicated times, because Bitcoin is currently in a range, we are really playing with everyone's balls. We don't know if we will pass the TH. People are beginning to lose hope to some extent in very challenging times. We are still able to stabilize growth in both value and price because, unless proven otherwise, I rely on my indicator that we are still within favorable conditions and we safeguard the levels. So it is important to comprehend the significance of these videos. I truly desire to create them because we have an influence on the future of the price. Please bear this in mind and share this video with the entire community. It is crucial to comprehend. And now, in order to remain a little more rational, we will also examine the pullbacks. We will tidy up the chart a bit and attempt to comprehend the impact we can have. So here we had a pullback on the neckline and we started something new. It's up to us to maintain this growth on a very solid coin. That's why some coins skyrocket and then dump due to lack of community protection against downturns in the market. We did not have a broad base. We did not have consolidation. And at present, we can also state one thing, that over there we might have something else entirely. Here we might have another winter, a broad base, and we can also say to ourselves that this might be the beginning of our real season 2, and that this is simply our accumulation, so we have definitely started something new. From winter to spring to summer, we are now in the summer phase, and it will depend on us, the community, to ensure that season 2, the summer phase, does not turn back into winter because of our actions. Therefore, we must be responsible holders of this new season, working together to maintain the progress and prevent any regression. Well, that is all we have to control. And even if we go back to winter, well, spring, we have already had the experience of it, you know. We look at each other, gather around a table, say, hey guys, signed up for this, know each other well, already faced tough moments. Well, what do? At this moment, we are strong. However, if we met during an upswing, got to know each other during easy times, when we face tough times, we will all look at each other and be lost without any idea of what to do. That's the big difference. If we go back into a downturn, we'll all sit around a table and say, did we sign up for this, right? What are we going to put in place to return to growth? The goal is not to go back to that table together and stare at each other foolishly. It's about making sure from now on to never go back there. That's very important. Now we're just going to take a little look. I will tidy up the entire graph and I will simply go back here to our approach that we have been using throughout this process. We will take a look at the correction phases. Here, correction phases on such a volatile coin are completely normal. Here we have a 60% correction. Here we had, oops, I'm losing my life again. Here we experienced a correction of 70%. And in this location, we encountered another dip of 51%. It's never part of the price action. Sometimes you want 10, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, but you don't accept a minus 50% correction. It doesn't come from nowhere. You want growth, but you also have to accept pullback. And what I also wanted to demonstrate is that So I do not frequently employ Fibonacci. It is not a component of my strategy, but it is genuine and authentic. Here we had, so I take the lowest to the highest and I extend it, and look, we've just returned right back into the reload zone. Pump, reload zone. Here I go back to my Fibonacci, I take the lowest point, I go to my pump, I extend it, and we return here to the reload zone. Even with a small capitulation, but we can see that we are holding on to it, and we're off again. And here, quite simply, I will revisit this, the last pump, so that we remain rational. We will proceed from the lowest point to the highest point, and we are currently operating in the reload zone. It would be ideal to witness a small Peepo that reconstructs a wide foundation, establishing an active community. This way, we can collectively, along with the newcomers, make an impact in the reload zone through effective communication. It is crucial to be able to share our experiences and insights on platforms like Twitter and in various discords. Dear friends, we find ourselves in an intriguing buyback zone where our actions can significantly influence the value of the coin. By maintaining strong communication, we can not only impact the value of the coin, but also influence the buyback process in the reload zone, thereby triggering a new wave of momentum and securing a higher level. It is essential to comprehend the significance of the reload zone, the potential of the coin, and our role as active participants responsible for shaping its value alongside our community. Therefore, the primary obligation to assume subsequent to observing this video is to promptly press that button, click like, share on your various networks, write a brief comment in order to ensure that YouTube's sophisticated algorithms prominently feature and promote our content. That's all your job is to be at least active. If you're here watching and hoping for it to go up and not even being able to click a button, then you immediately lower the value of the community, the value of all our commitment. We are not asking you to work. We are not dictators, but we are asking at least those who do not work but are supporters to share massively and contribute their efforts to our cause. Hope you understood this great video. We'll meet again soon, tomorrow or the day after, for another educational video as we continue to grow on this YouTube channel. This was Noctis.